Hello, Mr. Chu. Today I'll be presenting about the collapse of Signature Bank. SB was founded in 2001 by former executives of the Republic National Bank of New York. From the start, it focused on serving high net worth clients, especially in commercial real estate and private banking. Its core businesses range from commercial lending to asset management, credit solutions, brokerage services, and mortgage banking. SB operated during a time of major economic shifts. During the pandemic, the Federal Reserve slashed interest rates to support the economy. While this encouraged borrowing, it also reduced profit margins. As the economy recovered in 2022, inflation rose sharply. In response, the Fed increased interest rates, which then reversed the trend. Profits on loans improved, but demand fell. To stay competitive, SB leaned into the digital asset sector. By 2023, crypto-related clients made up 30% of their deposits, totaling $16.5 billion at peak. SB's organization structure was decentralized. Lending decisions were made by local teams to allow flexibility and responsiveness, but this came at the cost of weak centralized risk oversight. As for its internal culture, SB emphasized customer-centric services and pursued an aggressive growth strategy. Now moving on to the risk drivers that stressed SB. Between 2018 and 2022, SB more than doubled its assets from $47 billion to $110 billion. However, this growth was fueled largely by uninsured deposits, which are accounts exceeding the FDIC's $250,000 insurance limit. By the end of 2021, 82% of its deposits were uninsured, nearly double the industry average. SB also showed weak liquidity and risk management. The bank's expansion into the digital asset space, including providing services to crypto clients, further intensified its risk exposure. At its peak, crypto-related firms made up 30% of its deposits. The crypto market, being highly volatile and sentiment-driven, saw significant outflows when prices crashed in 2022 to 2023. Many crypto clients rapidly withdrew deposits, ultimately contributing to the bank's downfall. Adding on, SB's management was unresponsive to supervision findings by regulators. As early as 2019, regulators had raised red flags about SB's liquidity contingency planning, but many of these issues remained unresolved through 2023. This highlights SB's failure to properly identify and control liquidity risks given the complexity of the nature of their operations. Furthermore, regulators reported that management often failed to follow through on corrective actions, and in some cases, they falsely claimed issues were fixed. This reactive rather than proactive approach to risk meant that the bank consistently underestimated the seriousness of its vulnerabilities. Moving on, SB's corporate governance was also flawed. Key decisions were made informally by a few executives without proper documentation or oversight. Committee structures also lacked accountability, enabling major strategic decisions, like digital asset exposure, to pass without sufficient scrutiny. Overall, these structural weaknesses laid the groundwork for the bank's collapse. Now let's look at how SB responded as the risks escalated. In early 2023, SB faced alleged links to the FTX scandal, where a lawsuit claimed that the bank knowingly enabled account misuse. Not only that, SB's close association with Silvergate, a crypto-heavy bank that announced its liquidation around the same time, only intensified scrutiny and concerns about SB's stability. Despite these warning signs, SB's management remained overly confident. They insisted that they were not like SVB or Silvergate, even though they shared the same core vulnerabilities, including high uninsured deposits and crypto concentration. They believed strong client relationships, especially through their private client groups, would keep deposits stable. Even on March 10, just days before the bank run, SB's president dismissed concerns from regulators about the bank's deposit stability. When panic finally hit, SB was unprepared. They couldn't immediately determine how much emergency funding they needed. Not only that, they approached the Federal Home Loan Bank too late, and they also lacked sufficient collateral at the Fed's discount window to access liquidity. This shows that the management had underestimated market panic and reacted far too late. Finally, here are some interesting facts about SB. In 2019, SB became the first bank to let commercial clients access their Signet platform, which was a blockchain-based real-time payment system that operated via the Fireblocks network. SB also had ties to high-profile figures like Donald Trump, who was also a longtime client. His daughter Ivanka Trump even served on SB's board from 2011 to 2013. Lastly, despite SB's heavy reliance on uninsured deposits, the US regulators promised to repay all depositors in whole, even those with balances far above the insured limit. And with that, I've come to the end of my presentation. Thank you.